Okay, so good afternoon, dear students. Welcome to the lesson dedicated to the anniversary of independence. And in this lesson, we will discuss the contribution of the first president to the policy making and the development of the sovereign Kazakhstan. Now we will look at the board and the years of development and policy making in the years of independence. So, President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, he said that for Kazakhstan, a country with a rich history and deep roots, there is no greater value than independence. This is the most precious treasure, the most confidential property. Therefore, we value the independence. And our ancestors dreamed about it, yes? And here we are today to celebrate its anniversary. And this lesson will help us to look at some highlights of the contribution of our first president to the... Please raise your hands. What is the role of independence in your lives? Just a couple students. Yes, okay.
Okay, my name is Lina. Independence seems to me as a really, kind of complicated thing. It can be seen from the whole picture of the country, as we all understand that we are independent. We don't have, we don't have to feel pressure from other countries or nations. But at the same time, I feel like independence of the whole country is something that makes me feel stronger as my country, my nation is independent. I feel really grateful for my ancestors, for everything I have, and independence makes me do my best and look for the brighter future for not only me but for the country.
All right, thank you.
For me, independence are opportunities, because independence of the whole country gives us opportunity to develop ourselves, our culture. Like, no one says us what to do, how to do it. We do it ourselves. We speak our national language. We follow our traditions, Kazakh national traditions, and also we can go to school and make our own rules, and no other government says us what to do. We do it ourselves, so we have a lot of new opportunities. We can be free in our own country.
All right, thank you. Some of the most important aspects, yes? From the vision of teenagers like you, okay. Thank you. So this was a little bit of introduction. Now let's look at the screen.
President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev participated at the 75th session of the United Nations General Assembly on September 23, 2020. President informed about the creation of paradigm New World and said that now is the time for historical changes important for the mankind. New system for monitoring biological weapons is ready, and head of state proposed to establish the International Agency for Biological Security. Also, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev called other countries to join Code of Conduct for a world free of terrorism. Organization for Food Security, established on the initiative of our country, is ready to provide full support for international humanitarian campaign. President drew attention to environmental issues. Greenhouse gas emissions will be reduced by 15% due to the modernization of economy and enterprises by 2030, and over the next 5 years, more than 2 billion saplings will be planted in our country. Kazakhstan will continue to play an active role in the international community, building a more secure and prosperous future for all.
Hello, my name is Yerlan Yernaz, and I want to introduce the book that I have read several times. The name of this book is The Center of Peace, and the author is Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev. As I said, I have read this book several times, and I want to introduce to you the information that I have learned while reading this book. On August 29, 1949, the first nuclear weapon test was conducted at Semipalatin's test site, and Semipalatin's test site is one of the 3 biggest nuclear weapon test sites in the world. From 1949 to 1989, more than 450 tests was conducted on an area of 18,000 square meters. In 1991, by the decree of the first president of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev, the Semipalatin's test site was closed. Despite the closure of the Semipalatin's test site, Kazakhstan was a successor of major nuclear power, which retained large stockpiles of nuclear weapons in possession of its armed forces. On December 13, 1993, the Supreme Soviet of the Republic of Kazakhstan approved the treaty on non-proliferation of nuclear weapons, and the leading countries in the world demanded adoption of declaration guaranteeing the independence of Kazakhstan. In 1994, during the negotiations between the US President Bill Clinton and Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev, $400 was provided from US side, and as a result, Kazakhstan recognized itself as a peaceful state that renounced its nuclear weapons, and at the same time prevented the open pressure from major powers, from major countries, and started to develop its economic and foreign investments. To sum up, I want to say that every person should know the idea of Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev, that every country should develop without the nuclear weapons with mass destruction.
All right, so what we've just watched was an important measure in establishing peace around the world, yes? I have a question to you. So, in what ways this measure contributed to establishment and promotion of peace around the world?
So said by the boy who wrote this book, Kazakhstan's Semipalatin's polygon was one of the biggest nuclear testing centers. That is why closure of this nuclear testing was a representation for the many countries that weapons and wars are ruining our world, which is why we should try to find a solution in the peaceful way. And because of that, Kazakhstan became one of the showed the world that it is one of the peaceful nations, and we are in the center of the Eurasia. That is why we can connect different countries peacefully and become the member of the big world. Yeah.
This decision about nuclear weapons and eliminating them from our country is very important. First of all, we have got recognition from major powers in the world. Second, it led to the new trend of non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. As I know, Ukraine and Belarus followed us in eliminating nuclear bombs in their country. And globally, it's a wise decision from Mr. Nazarbayev, because our country, after the fall of the USSR, I would say it couldn't maintain such amount of nuclear bombs safely, and there could be a huge risks of terrorist attacks, which will lead to some big tragic, not only in Kazakhstan but globally, because there could be terrorists from Afghanistan, Tajikistan, and other countries. Yeah.
All right, very, very justified and argumented answer. Thank you. So let's listen to one more student. Yes. All right. Thank you for your comments, students. I'm very pleased by the ways you're using this language, you know, like politically enriched language. Yes? You were going to say something? Okay. All right. So you have identified and expressed almost all the aspects that disarmament, yes, contributed to the peace building around the world, and the Central Asian region and the post-Soviet region, yes, how countries followed the example of our country, okay, and Yilbas's decision, yes. All right, at this point I want to say that we highlight this valuable contribution. We've highlighted this valuable contribution, and now I want to ask you the following question about the other contributions, yes, and the policies. What do you know about them besides denouncement of nuclear weapon? Can you name some other policies, significant ones? Yes, please. All right.
Exhibition, the new way of gaining energy, alternative ways, which will help to reduce amount of trash and other bad contributions to the environment, which is why our country stands out from the other post-Soviet Union countries.
Correct. Absolutely right.
So I think that one of the most important decisions made by Mr. Nazarbayev is establishing borders with all of our neighbors. It was a long and hard process because it required a lot of diplomacy from both sides, from our side and with Russia, People Republic of China, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Turkmenistan. And if we didn't establish our borders, like with China, there could be conflicts like today China and India have. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So some other students who didn't speak yet. Okay.
We have a lot of environmental resources, and in the new independent country, we could export these resources to other countries and sell it. And also, we got a lot of investments from other countries to build new cities, like our new capital city, Astana, like it was capital city. And we got a lot of investments that helped us to build modern city, and also build this Expo 2017, as Nargis said.
Okay, all right, accepted. Thank you, students. So now we want to demonstrate a few more videos, okay? So the next video will be
Conference on Interaction and Confidence Building Measures in Asia. When was this organization established? At the 47th session of the UN General Assembly, the first president of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev, proposed the idea of establishing a platform where Asian countries could speak up and simply cooperate on important matters, which include economic, political and social problems as well. So on June 4th, 2002, the first CICA summit was held. What was so crucial about the establishment of the CICA? The Asian continent perhaps didn't have a perfect solution for many of its problems because of the lack of cooperation. So as soon as many Asian countries acknowledged the lack of cooperation, they joined the CICA, and currently CICA has 27 countries that are active participants and contribute actively to the work of the CICA. Also, there are 8 countries, including the US and Japan, that are considered to be independent observers, and they as well as other international organizations like UN, the OSCE, and IOM participate in the CICA summits. What is happening with CICA right now? On the September 24th, 2020, there was a council that was held specifically to accommodate the transfer of the chairmanship from Tajikistan to Kazakhstan. At the summit, current president of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, noted that it was important to give Kazakhstan this opportunity to continue the important deeds on political activism, and also try to propose more of the political initiatives on the international arena. So now we are yet to see what great deeds will come from Kazakhstan and other countries participants of the CICA in the future.
My name is Aygeri Musina. Currently, I'm a teacher at Nazarbayev Intellectual School. This year, I also got my master's degree from Nazarbayev University. So I want to say that I'm very grateful to our first president, Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev. Nowadays, as a teacher, I always try to participate in different projects and programs. For example, establishing lesson plans and course programs, sharing my experience with local schools and rural areas. I also participated in the project Online Mektep that was created to help students and teachers during pandemic time. This year, I became a part of Teaching Insights project organized by OECD, and also participated in different conferences of OECD and UNESCO. So I can say that gaining independence was the most important stage for our country, and all of this would not be possible without such a wise ruler. Nowadays, every citizen of our country can study, work, learn, and develop. So I want to say that I'm very proud to be the part of independent Kazakhstan.
All right, thank you, speakers. So now, the closing stage of our lesson will be about your vision of what Kazakhstan will be like in 30 years, okay? Kazakhstan 2050, you are 45-year-olds, right? Or 45 or 46 or 47. How do you imagine it? So, what is your vision? Just a few comments from you. Yes, okay. So,
the first thing that came to my mind was safety. I'm pretty sure that when I'm gonna be 46, I will be able to, I don't know, just enjoy my life and just live it as best as possible without any warnings about, I don't know, my safety, about wars, about some conflicts, and etc. I strongly believe that Kazakhstan will provide me with confidence, with stability, and what is more, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna develop ecology thing. Many people start to just care about it, start to take it, start to be attentive to ecological problem, and Kazakhstan is also starts to develop some projects for green ecology, and that's the thing that, in my opinion, will change the world completely, and actually the only thing that will result in wonderful, long-lasting life.
okay, perfect comments. All right.
I wanted to say that a country begins with people, so I believe that Kazakhstan will be full of intelligent students and people that will enrich our history, make Kazakhstan the most powerful country in the world, maybe. So,
Top 10?
yeah,
Hopefully, yes.
yeah.
All right.
In the 30 years, our country will be completely different from now. And as it was said before, we will use more and more alternative sources of energy because they are this only thing how can we just provide our country with power and with new opportunities. And also, in my view, we will use a new technology, and will be everywhere will be the technology advancement, artificial intelligence, and other sort of cool things that can make our life even more convenient than now.
Hopefully will be so.
Previous opinions, and I think that we have achieved so big achievements, honors only in 30 years, and I'm sure that in 20 years we will be more powerful, stronger, and I hope that we will be in the list of 10 leading countries. So looking forward for it. Also, I want to mention that we are a very rich country, and I hope that we will be able to use it and develop our STEM sphere. So looking forward for it.
Okay, all right, students, dear students. Okay, all right, students, dear students. Thank you for this. Partly wishes, partly your hopes. Yes. Okay, so thank you for participating in this lesson. So we finish for now, but we will meet again. Yes, in future. So thank you. Yeah, we finish here. Just a few conclusive notes. We have highlighted today the main achievements, yes, during the years of presidency of Yelbasi, and we've watched the video with contemporaries of independence, yes, and we heard really good comments and expressed hopes from your behalf. Thank you very much. Let's finish now. See you soon. Bye-bye.